We're back tonight with more local news. Experts have urged the hospital authority to adopt new technology which can detect bacteria more quickly and speed up diagnoses. Rachel Leung reports.
Staff at Queen Elizabeth Hospital have been busy screening patients ever since an outbreak of a drug-resistant bacteria was discovered there. More than a dozen patients have tested positive for the bug since testing began. The hospital hopes to contain the situation within 2 to 3 months. Still, it expects to see an increase in confirmed cases as more patients undergo tests. Ho Pak Leung, a microbiologist at the University of Hong Kong, thinks current testing methods prevents a speedy diagnosis. He said a diagnosis typically comprises of several steps, which includes isolating the bacteria, analysis, and a confirmation of the suspected germ or virus. Ho said while waiting for the results, doctors often feel helpless because they can only use experience and instinct to treat patients. He suggested the hospital authority adopt protein diagnosis technology, which is used in Europe, the US, and even on the mainland. He said the test can identify bacteria more quickly. It also has a lower chance of error. The hospital authority says it constantly upgrades equipment and stressed the quality satisfies international standards. It will begin introducing the protein test gradually. Queen Mary Hospital will be the first to use this technology. Rachel Leung, TVB News.
A group of shop owners in Central are unhappy that they're being asked to move out. They say it will force many of them out of business. Evelina Leung reports.
Miss Lee's family had been running a clothing shop in a market on Gay Street in Central before the building was torn down for renovation about 5 years ago. The government offered the family a temporary shop nearby to continue their business. However, she received a letter from the Urban Renewal Authority last month telling her to move out by the end of the year. This left her with no choice but to sell all her products before the deadline. Almost 40 shops face the same situation. Hui Wai-tin, a representative of the shopkeepers, is unhappy, saying the URA earlier promised them that they could stay put.
The affected business owners and their employees will stage a rally on Monday to express their discontent.
They will march from where their stalls are located to the Urban Renewal Authority's offices in Central. They have not ruled out stepping up their campaign if they don't get a satisfactory answer from the authority. In response, the URA said it will meet with the owners to see if arrangements can be made to accommodate them. Evelina Leung, TVB News.
Turning overseas again, choppy seas off the Italian island of Lampedusa are hampering divers from recovering more bodies of migrants killed in Thursday's shipwreck. 155 people were rescued and 111 bodies have been recovered so far of the estimated 500 people who were on board. Alan Buckner has the story.
Divers say they expect they will find more than 100 more bodies in and around the wreckage. The vessel, carrying mainly Eritreans and Somalis, capsized after a fire on board caused a panicked rush to one side. The residents of Lampedusa held a vigil last night in memory of the people who lost their lives. Though the tiny island takes in thousands of immigrants every year, and there have been many wrecks in the past, residents were shaken by the sheer magnitude of this tragedy. Earlier in the day, Italian authorities began transferring a large group of asylum seekers from a holding center on the island that can accommodate 800 people. At almost the same time in Sicily, about 60 more migrants, believed to be Syrian, were rescued from another vessel. There were vigils across Italy mourning the dead. In Rome, this man said, "It's sad to think the people were just looking for a better life, like our parents and grandparents going to America." The scale of the disaster is prompting calls for a comprehensive European immigration policy to deal with the tens of thousands fleeing poverty and persecution in Africa and the Middle East.
We really need to change the law, we need to change the rules, and this is not a problem of Sicily, it's not a problem of a few regions. So this is a problem of the entire country and the entire continent. It's a problem that Europe needs to solve together.
According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, some 30,000 migrants arrived in Italy and Malta in the first 9 months of this year, already double that of all of 2012. Alan Buckner, TVB News.
In Egypt, at least 4 people were killed in clashes yesterday as supporters of ousted President Mohamed Morsi again took to the streets demanding his reinstatement. It was the boldest protest by supporters of Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood since troops crushed their makeshift camps in August. An Egyptian army vehicle fired live rounds in the direction of the protesters after the crowds were pushed away from Cairo's Tahrir Square by security forces. Egypt has been gripped by political and economic turmoil since Morsi's overthrow by the army on July 3rd. An Italian Senate committee has recommended that former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi should be expelled from Parliament for tax fraud. The media tycoon was convicted for the offence last year, and the sentence was upheld in August. The committee's recommendation, passed by 15 votes to 8, must be ratified later this month by a vote of the full Senate. It's just the latest setback in a disastrous week for Berlusconi. His attempt to bring down the coalition government led by Prime Minister Enrico Letta failed after members of his own party decided not to support him, forcing the billionaire into a humiliating climb down. All right, Tony, over to you for sports.
That's right, and it's all go in the playoffs. In baseball, wins for the Atlanta Braves over the LA Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates against the St. Louis Cardinals. Both playoffs in the National League are even at a game apiece. Meanwhile, the American League Division Series got underway with Boston versus Tampa Bay. Here's Jameson Wong.
The bottom of the fourth was Tampa Bay's undoing. Boston trailed 2-0 but came away with a 5-2 lead. On this play, 2 outfielders watched the ball fall between them for a ground rule double.
That Jennings was behind him. Wow, what a huge mistake.
Big Papi and Dustin Pedroia scored when Johnny Gomes blasted one off the green monster.
It is off the wall. Pedroia scores. Ortiz right behind him. It's a...
It was that kind of day for the Rays. This shot by Will Middlebrooks took a bad hop off the wall and left and scored another run.
He's around to score. To score on the infield.
The monster gave Tampa Bay fits. 12-2 the final score. Pitcher John Lester went 7+ for the win. The Red Sox lead the best-of-5 series 1-0. Game 2 back here at Fenway Park.
Doubles. His first playoff start. It's off the glove of right. And into left center, Saltalamacchia will score.
On the ground. To the
in Oakland, the Detroit Tigers scored 3 times in the first inning and held on to beat the A's 3-2. Detroit's 20-game winner, Max Scherzer, pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, and struck out 11. The A's need to win the next game to avoid going down 0-2 in the series. Jameson Wong, TVB News.
On to tennis now, and Rafa Nadal has advanced to the China Open final in Beijing. His opponent today, Czech Thomas Berdych, was forced to retire because of injury. By reaching the championship match, the Spaniard is guaranteed a return to the top of the world rankings. Meanwhile, on the women's side, Petra Kvitova of the Czech Republic beat local favourite Li Na in 3 sets yesterday. The scores were 4-6, 6-2 and 6-4. In the semi-finals, Kvitova lost to Serb Jelena Jankovic. In Formula One, Red Bull's Sebastian Vettel will be on pole for tomorrow's Korean Grand Prix. The 26-year-old German is chasing a 4th straight win. Vettel is also closing in on another Drivers' Championship. He leads Ferrari's Fernando Alonso by a whopping 60 points with 6 races left in the season. The Spaniard qualified 5th. Weather could be a factor come racing time. A typhoon is expected on Sunday, and that could bring heavy rain and strong winds to the area.
And finally for tonight, putting on a show in the Argentine capital. The International Festival of Buenos Aires opened overnight with a unique display by a French performance company. Performing on the River Plate, which runs through the city, their show attracted a large number of locals and visitors. The Feu de Bassin show sees the performers walk on water, setting up a strange, absurdist world and leading the audience through a floating spectacle. The festival, which first began in 1997, sees an elaborate cultural offering, dishing out everything from literature seminars, writing workshops, and a cinema festival, including films from all over the world. And that's the news for tonight.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
Good evening. It was fine and dry today. At 5 p.m., a dry northeast monsoon brought generally fine weather to southern China. Today's temperatures range from 23.8 to 29.9 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 42 to 81%. The current temperature is now standing at 26.6 degrees Celsius, and the relative humidity is 58%. The fire danger warning is yellow, and the fire risk is high. So, Freddie, how's weather tomorrow? Fine and dry again tomorrow. Temperatures will range from 23 to 31 degrees. It will turn more cloudy in the following few days. Tomorrow's API is forecast at 55 to 135, and the air pollution level will range from high to very high. The maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 8. And now to the latest global weather update. Showers in Shanghai, rain in Taipei, cloudy in Xiamen. Sunny in Guangzhou and Macau, cloudy in Chengdu. Sunny in Beijing, cloudy in Seoul and Tokyo. Thunderstorms in Bangkok, rain in Ho Chi Minh City and Manila. Showers in Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta, thunderstorms in Singapore. Bright in New Delhi, showers in Karachi and Mumbai. Bright in Cairo and Nairobi. Sunny in Brisbane and Sydney, showers in Melbourne, bright in Auckland. Cloudy in Toronto and New York. Cloudy in Vancouver, sunny in San Francisco and Los Angeles. And it's sunny in London, cloudy in Paris and Amsterdam, showers in Frankfurt and Zurich. And that's the weather. Have a lovely evening.